And ready.
So hey, are you listening? Welcome to the Homage Listening Tour, where we come together as sisters, as community members, as network weavers, to be able to talk about different topics that have to do with creating the system for healing historical trauma. This month, we have a great theme that we want to hit, but before we do that, I would like for you to meet our team. My name is Crystal Grimes. I am the founder and chief strategist of the Heal Alliance, which is a social change agency based out of Bastrop, Texas, but serving rural communities throughout the U.S. to do the deep work of social change. Next to me, I have my beautiful sister.
My name is Jasmine. I'm the belonging coordinator for Heal Alliance.
I'm Jen Lucas. I'm the director of transformative leadership.
And I'm Gabby. I'm the manager of communications and narrative.
And together we are the Heal team. So excited to bring this podcast, this webisode, whatever this is, this listening tour to you.
So our topic for this month is agency and trust as the foundation for community healing. And so agency is just ownership and what you have control over. And what do y'all think about agency and creating agency in your own spaces?
Agency and creative freedom are so necessary, especially in this climate, this day and age, for the work that we do as a nonprofit organization, for community members not only to be empowered, but to recognize that they already have the power, the existing power. And it's really just us to be able to support them in recognizing that, but also the resources to be able to move forward. I think that's what agency is. How about you?
Yeah, I think it's so important for everybody to realize that we do have power.
Mm-hmm.
I love the concept of the two circles where we have the smaller circle that's our circle of influence. So where we do have agency to affect both our lives and people in our community. And there's this larger circle of care where we might not have a lot of agency there.
Yeah.
And are we spending more of our time thinking about where we don't have that or
Absolutely.
where we do have agency?
Yes. Love that.
I think agency is so important to teach people, like you said, that you do have power.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to feel powerless. With creating agency, you have ownership over your culture, your space, your family, your stories. And I think a challenge that comes with that in the article that you wrote that is on our website, it talks about there's a misunderstanding of exclusion when you're trying to create a space of belonging. Right.
I can dive into that part.
That right there.
Yes. Okay. So especially when the Heal Alliance was in its infancy, or even honestly before it was like a fully thought out organization, the need for agency and creative freedom was huge. And to understand that you have to trust people to have the answers to the questions that impact them the most. And we oftentimes go outside of ourselves. And I think that also agency and creative freedom are two sometimes interchangeable to me, with understanding that whatever you're going through, you have the answers. Right. Yes, we need to seek counsel, we need support, we need community, but at the end of the day, you have the answers to what you are going through. Really about trusting communities to come up with the solutions for themselves and to support that, right? So it's not us doing, it's creating the systems to be able to get to the answers that we seek as individuals, as community members, as leaders, as government officials. We all have some agency and some creative freedom to do things innovatively, not always do the same copycat of what you've seen generation after generation. Yeah. At some moment, we have to kind of pause and say, let's get off of the train, or let's get off of the Ferris wheel and actually do something a little different. So, and I hope that we're starting that, we're creating. It takes time, but we will get there. Yeah.
first heard this question, I thought of my longtime colleagues who have been facilitating some of the sessions for our Transformative Leadership Institute. And really, what I thought about was because there is deep trust there among us, and it's time. It's because we have been working with each other for a very long time, and so we have a history of knowing that people will show up if somebody says they're going to do something, that you can trust that they're going to do it. So it really made me think about the importance of continuation in relationship, and that in order to build deep trust, for me, time is necessary.
Yes.
So building trust in a community is huge. I think that trust does take time. I know Jen was talking about relational, and she was thinking about her colleagues where she's built the trust. The biggest thing for me is going into different communities that I'm unaware of or don't have knowledge of. I have to listen, right? And so the biggest thing of this tour is to listen. What are we hearing? What are we listening? And then really be intentional on what I'm listening for. For me, that's kind of really the biggest thing, and the biggest thing with going into communities or being supportive of different communities, even with my own background, is really just listening.
I love that. For 2025, the theme for the Heal Alliance as an organization is to hear the call. What are we hearing in rural communities of Central Texas, which incorporates Bastrop, Caldwell, Hayes, as well as Williamson counties? But to be able to really commit ourselves to deep, intentional understanding, listening, planning,
Yes.
collaboration, community building, networking as a team, as community members, like we are completely dedicated to that. And we call all of you in to be able to do that alongside us. Let's network together. Let's see exactly what are community members, what are you saying?
I don't know, we're listening. What do you need?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what do you need? And like, what resources are there? Like, what's already happening that's good, that's bringing people together that we want to amplify?
Yes.
So people don't feel alone.
How can we support?
Building belonging. We're committed to building belonging, to stop the othering. Kind of touching on something that we talked about earlier was really about the agency and others seeing it as an exclusionary act of something that we're continuing the othering. It is completely necessary, critical, as well as a human tendency to connect with people that we see or feel that we have something in common with. But the more that we create those safe spaces, but also create opportunities for us to come together to share culturally through activities, whatever that is building belonging as well as creating these safe spaces. It's not just about exclusion. It is really critical for us as individuals, as humans, to be with people that we have something in common with. So I hope that we see that as a superpower, as opposed to something that needs to be thrown and tossed to the side, because that's not what the intent is. So
that was so beautifully put, Crystal. Thank you so much. If you have anything that you would like to add, please drop your answers in the comments. We would love to hear more from you. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, check out our website, healhistory.org, and stay in touch for more information.
You can also watch out for updates and inspiration from the 12 amazing folks that we have as part of our Transformative Rural Leadership Institute. These folks are doing amazing social change work in the 4 counties that we work in, and we're very excited to amplify their work.
Yes. Also, April 24th at In Cahoots in Austin, Texas, we are hosting a gathering of weavers, of community members and leaders, and we invite all of you out to join us for that day. A lot more to come on our socials and website.
Yes, and lastly, April 1st, we will be having a mini gathering in Buda at the Buda Library, so be looking out for that.
All right, so that's it for today, and we ask you, until next time, what are you hearing?